All right, welcome. My name is Coach Dashalet. Coach Green's on the other side here, and we are the head indoor track coaches for Southern High School. If you are a returnee, welcome back. We're going to explain what this season is going to look like, at least what we think it's going to look like. If you are new, we will welcome aboard and welcome to a great historic program of indoor track and field. And we're going to kind of tell you what it's going to be like for the next couple months and what that season is going to look like in this new and special age that we are a part of right now. So the first part of this video is going to be for everybody to tell you like how we're going to structure these practices because it's going to be very, very unique. Once we get through that, if you're an attorney, you can sign off and we will move on to things about specific to indoor track that everyone needs to know that is new. And then if you're an attorney, you really don't need to listen in on this. One thing I should also say is this is going to be an intro video for all of us. We will also be having more of a Q&A style Zoom meeting where everybody can come in that is new and listen in on to learn about the program and ask questions. Parents are more than welcome to attend those as well. So right now I'm going to let Coach Green take it away with talking about some of the unique COVID related challenges that we're going to be facing in the near future.
All right, everybody. So first things first, I cut out. I'm sorry. We'll go through all the information needed. Like Coach Dash said, we're going to have a follow-up Q&A. So if anything doesn't get answered right now, we'll have time. So as you know, with the situation, indoor track and winter sports as a whole is kind of in the air in terms of what's going to be allowed versus what's not going to be allowed. We are going off the premise that indoor will be allowed at worst to be, competed in a way that practices will be able to happen. We have dual meet in some capacity. We'll figure it out that way, but we are planning on conditioning, training, just like we would have any season. Okay. The way that we're going to be doing it though is going to look different than what we've done in the past. So you guys are on a unique schedule with AE days, and this actually kind of works to our advantage. So our mindset is we're going to be having small groups, event-based groups, just like we have in the past. The only difference is they're going to be broken up location-wise around the school. So everybody's going to be outside if we can, if weather's permitting. Distance, mid-distance, most likely be outside the majority of the time. Sprinters, throwers, jumpers will go inside if the weather gets too bad. We're probably going to try to push it a little bit more than we have in the past, temperature-wise, just because we can try to do our best. But when we're going to be doing that, it's not going to be based on, okay, you want to go here this day, you want to go that day. It's going to be based on ability level. It's going to be based on event group. It's going to be based on, technical need, because if we are putting you with a training group, we want to make sure that you are working well with that training group, that you're going to still continue to progress and get better and better. It's not just, hey, I'm going to hang out with my friend you're there to work, you're there to get better. You're also there to enjoy it. And we're going to try to meld all of that stuff together. So how this is going to work is basically if you are a home all the time student, you are going to basically, whatever your A or B day is that you're supposed to follow in school, that is going to be your most likely assigned day. If you are A day or B day and actually in person, that is when we are going to basically say, if you're in school on those days, you're going to practice. The only exception will be distance, since their training can be a little bit more controlled, and they'll be basically outside in groups, small groups the whole time. If you are unsure about, what you're going to be doing during the winter during that time, obviously we can take it by case basis. But plan for the most part that most kids will have this anywhere from 3 to 4 days a week. Okay. Practice will start Monday through Friday, immediately after school. So 2:45. Most at 4:30, maybe 5 o'clock at the latest, but plan on 2:45, 4:30, just like we have in the past. And the group themselves will likely be broken up into sprints short and long. Hurdles will be mixed in there. There'll be mid distance and distance, and then there'll be throws. And throws is also going to be, instead of just training for shot put, I will also be introducing, discus and other techniques to help get ready for outdoor. But that's how we're going to break those up. They will then be broken up even more into smaller groups since we have more coaches. Okay. The biggest thing that you need to understand is that we are working with everything that we've got. Okay, so we're trying to give you the best experience possible, but there are limitations. So if everything I'm saying so far is too much, that's fine. We'll see you in outdoor. We're doing the best we can. But if you're committed to joining the team, we got to make sure that you stay committed. Okay. So Coach Dash is going to talk about how we, basically we'll move into competitions and what we have planned for that.
All right, great. So, so we are going to put you into these groups as best we can right off the beginning of the season. We may try and do some testing right off the bat to figure out who's going where. We are going to try and keep you in those groups just because of some consistency of training, and also for we're trying to avoid quarantine and hitting more kids, and bouncing back and forth increases the odds of quarantining more kids. That being said, we will probably, it's going to take a little while to figure out who's where. And if we have some warmer days, we might be able to figure out who should be in which group. So we're going to have some moving around. It's going to be you're going to have to be flexible a little bit, but we are going to try and keep you with the same coach as much as possible. We will have multiple training groups inside with an idea of having no more than 20 per training group indoors at any one time. We're going to staff up to approximately 6 to 8 coaches for this indoor season, which will help keep the numbers down and the athlete to coach ratio really low. We're going to try and do some field event testing and get you into some of the other events, like the long jump, triple jump, high jump, things like that. We're going to do our best we can in this very unique time to get as many of you that are interested in those events and that have a proclivity for those events into them. Competition. So competition is going to be, if we get one meet in, we're doing great. It's not something that we're going to bank on. We are hoping for the best right now with this. There are some facilities in the state that are saying that they're working for track meets. Ideal situation is we have a dual meet at Hartford Public, for example, against another team. But we're gonna be very creative with the competitions. We'll definitely do some internal things. If we can do maybe an outdoor dual meet, just like it was outdoor. And if it's we know that it's going to be 65 degrees in January, we're going to try and do a meet. We may do some throws meets with just some of the throwers. We may do a jumps meet with some of the other schools and have multi teams. We may run a cross country meet against other teams. But we're gonna have to get creative with this thing. It's just an opportunity to test ourselves. But we're gonna have to be very flexible, and communication is gonna be key. And when we get to the communication part, everybody needs to be on the same page and be on board with our communication tools, because this last season we had in cross country, we did it pretty well, but it means that everybody's got to be on board. All parents need to be in a communication loop. All right, so you're up. You want to talk about first practice, and when we're going to be starting by?
Yeah, so basically November 21st, as of right now, is the go-ahead date for indoor track. I know that they're considering pushing winter sports back slightly, but you never know with the CIC, so we're going to base it off of November 21st. We'll email everybody that signed up on Family ID. If it's A day or B day, that's how we'll figure it out. If you're somebody who's new and like brand new, or you know that you're going to distance, make sure that you email Coach Dash, and we'll have all our emails and stuff up at some point. Just make sure you email him saying that you're being in that group, because that way he can get you started sooner rather than later. If you've been on any of our teams before, a lot of what we've said is not new, or the stuff we're going to say is not new. Okay, we're going to go over family ID. We're going to go over XC stats, remind, communication, attendance policies, and basically just the responsibilities of what we're looking for from a student athlete. So if you have been on our team, you're returning after 2 seasons or multiple seasons, and this doesn't count, you were going to join an outdoor. Like, if you're new to us, you're new to us. If you're not, you guys are good. But for everybody else that's brand new, make sure you stay on screens that are going to be very important to you. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're a returnee, get on Family ID. You know how to do it. You've done it before. Fill out Family ID. Soon after you do that, I'll pick a date, and we're going to email you out a questionnaire to ask you about which day are you? Are you an A day or a B day? So that we can figure out what everyone's is. I don't have access to that information, so you need to be upfront about that and get us that information back. Get on Family ID. If you're on XC Stats, if you've done that already, you're set. We will activate you on XC Stats. That will be our primary communication tool for that as well. So that being said, I think that's it for returnees. Welcome back, and we'll see you later. If you are a new athlete, stick around. We've got a couple things we're going to show you. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share screen. This is going to be fun. Share screen, and I'm going to go to this. So the first thing I'm showing you is make sure to do a screenshot of this right here. So this is my email address. So if you're interested in doing cross country, if you're interested in doing distance or mid distance, you need to email this email address right here and say, hey, I'm interested in doing mid distance or distance. And then that will mean that you're gonna practice quite a bit more than the other guys because we're gonna be going outside. This is Coach Green's address if anybody needs that. Coach Green will be the head coach for the boys during indoor administratively, and I will be the head coach for the girls administratively. And that flip-flops during outdoor. This is a code that you're going to need when we're going to talk about XC stats in a few minutes. That's the code you're going to need to type when you do XC stats. But I'm going to move screen, new share, stop share. All right, so the most important thing we have going on is communication right now, especially during COVID. So what the athlete's going to need to do is they're going to need to go on their phone, whether an iPhone or a Android, and they're going to need to download the XC Stats app. Once they do that, they're going to need to, I'm going to pull this up in a second here. Sorry, 1 second. I guess I do not have it. You're going to need to go to XC Stats and download that app. Once they do that, they're going to go in and they're going to join Southington Track and Field or Southington program. It's XC and track. Then they're going to use that Blue Knights exclamation point code as the login. And then from there, they're going to need to put in their information. You really need to add in your parents' email, your parents' email, your cell phone, and your parent's cell phone, ideally, so that we can give you up to the minute information about practice and things. Once you do that, you're going to get an email back to your email address. Within 24 hours, you have to respond to that email, just like a lot of the things that we do when signing up for new accounts. Respond back to that, and then from there, you will be activated. If you don't do it within 24 hours, you will have to start from scratch, and it's actually quite the pain. So that's going to be our primary email communication tool. And Coach Green will tell you about a little bit about the other one we're going to have, which we'll debut later on once you get everything going. Uh-oh. Connor, you're on mute.
There we go. All right. So like we said, communication and everything's very important. So we keep track of this through our attendance. Attendance is going to be done a little bit differently just to ensure that everybody is up to date with everything, but they're going to be taking the groups. That doesn't mean we're not going to know who is there, who's not there. It's going to be still vital that, hey, I have XYZ, I will be, 15 minutes late, 20 minutes late, whatever it is. If you have a job, this is not the time to, if you cannot commit practice days, then don't waste your own time doing it. Okay. There's enough stress out there. There's always outdoor. It's okay. We scout you and we want you to be just as prosperous. So if that means getting a job, get the job. It's fine. Driver's ed. If it's still going on we ask after practices. So anytime after 5 o'clock. If there's conflicts with other sports or other teams or just in general, talk to us about it. We're very flexible. We've worked with many over the years who have had tons of different needs. But if you just randomly drop information on us without preparing us, then we be away. And you guys to be good communicators, and that doesn't mean last minute communicators. We want well-planned information so that we know how to adjust. Granted, that meets this setup yet this year, so we can't ask you to put those in. But like we said, we're going to treat it just like it's a regular season. So we need to know if, hey, you're going to be on, if you need to go out of town and you know about it, or college visits. Okay, put it in ahead of time. Obviously, there's obvious things where we're not going to, really do it if there's a sudden death in the family or medical emergencies or things like that. But if you haven't figured it out, we want communication to be the biggest thing. So make really do the can. Okay, it's your responsibility, not your parents. It's your responsibility to ensure that you're talking to us. As far as competition footwear and everything like that, which is a topic we normally talk about, just make sure that you have warm clothes. Okay, you will be sent away if you have warm clothes and we're out. A good pair of trainers or like shoes to work out in. We know plenty of that provide great quality running shoes, and everybody should have them, even throwers, because you guys will be doing workouts, things like that. But we're not going to say you have to get event specific shoes if we don't have options. We're just not going to have you wait yet. So it's going to be a as needed thing. And the same thing goes for uniforms, which is something that we could cover. If we do have competition, we do have a store of uniforms that we can, sell, and we'll just have you guys order them. For the most part, we just make sure that you understand and go into the season with the right level of expectation. Okay.
All right. So if this sounds interesting to you,
Anything to add?
And you would like to join, or you at least like to take the next steps and see about joining, you have to do one important thing, and that's join Family ID. I'm going to do another share screen here. And so what you're going to do is you are going to go to, so I can't, this is in the wrong spot. Here we go. You're going to go to southingtonsports.com, and then you're going to click on SHS, which means Southington High School. Let's see if it's doing it. I'm in a new room here. Come on. Okay, so I'm there. Okay, then we're gonna go to, so you're gonna go to Southington Sports, you're gonna go to high school, then you're gonna go to athletic forums. Then once you go to athletic forums, then you're gonna go to register now for Family ID. And then you're gonna go all the way to the bottom. You're gonna see these programs. So what you're gonna need to do is go to SHS winter registration. Oh, I don't know if I just did that right or not. There we go, got it right. So, and then you're gonna fill it out. It's not hard, it's like any other form. You're gonna probably need your parents there. You absolutely have to have a physical in the system that is up to date. More likely than not, the high school has your physical because of you just going from middle school to high school. If you're a ninth grader or you're a new athlete, but you've got to have a physical on file with the nurse. So if you don't have one there, you need to email that to the nurse. I don't have that up in front of me right now. Oh yeah, Michelle Barber, there we go. Look at that. Michelle Barber at southingtonschools.com, and email her your physical, and then that will activate you in the system. So that's the biggest thing you have to do. Once you do that, we will start sending you information as well once you complete the XC Stats application. Probably a week from now, on about 11 mid-November, we're going to have another Zoom meeting, which we'll try and publish to people that have either registered or done XC Stats, and we'll also put up signs in the school about a Q&A session for people on another Zoom call that you guys can join in on. So that's what I've got. Coach Green, what am I missing? I'm going to do it on the share screen here. Hold on. Stop share. What am I missing?
Yeah. No, I think that covers it. You know, we want everybody to have a great experience, and you know, who are unable to be a part of it, it's fine. We have outdoor track. We've got cross country next year. You know, we want to give you guys the best opportunity you can to experience indoor track, to try new events. If you've never done track before, we want to just expose you to all the awesomeness that is track and field. If this sounds like something to be a part of, awesome, be a part of it. You have a great experience. We have an amazing coaching staff that really loves what they do. And we just have a great team. So we really hope that you join. If you have any questions, obviously you have both of our emails. Please email us. We love sending emails back and forth. So please send us emails with questions or anything like that. And I hope to hear from you guys.
Yeah, great. It's a great team, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are just want to get out of the house and be a part of something other than your normal routine at home and at school. So this will hopefully scratch that itch. And we are a no-cut sport. I don't know if I said that earlier. And look forward to seeing a bunch of you guys out there. Our normal team size for indoor is usually about 150 kids. So it's a great, diverse group of people from all abilities. You don't feel like you need to be a superstar at anything. That we grow our own talent. So, all right, I think that's great. We will look forward to hearing from you. I'm going to put one more time the